Claude Seignolle was a French writer. Born in 1917 in Périgueux, his family moved to Châtenay-Malabry when Seignolle was 12. He was educated at the Lycée Le Canal at Sceaux, where he was encouraged to follow his fascination with archaeology, taking part in an archaeological dig at Plessis Robinson. He was expelled from school due to frequent absences, subsequently joining the French Prehistoric Society. He published his first novel, Le Ronde des Sorcières, in 1945. He wrote continuously for many decades, publishing collections with titles such as Histories Maléfiques, Contes Macabres, or others bearing the translated titles such as Poisonous Tales. Seignolle died in 2018 at age 101 at Châtenay-Malabry. Sadly, 1983's The Nightcharmer and Other Tales is the only English edition of Seignolle's short fiction to date, though two of his novels came out in 1967 in a single edition called Accursed Two Diabolical Tales. The title story of The Nightcharmer has the narrator invited to the manor of his friend close by Rosnay, who recounts to him a local legend of a bird whose call lures people out to drown in the local swamps. A Dog Story is a remarkably Gerald Kershian tale of the First World War, the story of the sufferings of a malnourished, flea-bitten cur, who proceeds to follow the French army, begging for scraps and who just does not want to die no matter how hard they try to put it out of its misery. The Healer narrates the story of an old gardener from Colondel's who has the ability to take upon himself the sicknesses of other people, suffer through them for a bit, and then all is well and the patient quote-unquote ends up being healed. However, one night he is approached by a man who passes on to him a sickness of an entirely different kind. The Starfish is the tragic story of an actress who suffered a terrible injury and had to have extensive plastic surgery done, being terrified of what her quote-unquote new face could be like. The Outlander is the story of a strange, frightening blacksmith who comes to take the place of one recently departed, coming out of nowhere, but though he seems to be a lot more than a mere wandering blacksmith, there is someone in the village even he had not taken into consideration. Incidentally, the story very much reminded me of C.F. Ramos's The Reign of the Evil One, to give you a bit of a hint of what it's about. The Last Rites is the story of a saintly shepherdess and of the exhuming of her tomb and what they found when they did so. Hitching a Ride is a more classic Edwardian tale of a quote-unquote coincidental and propitious meeting with a stranger who may end up being more than he seems. And finally, Night Horses is the tale of a man encountering the Ankou, a Breton personification of death, who transports those who have recently passed away in his carriage, narrating further how the protagonist attempted very desperately to cheat fate. The New York Times' Jack Sullivan called the book remarkable though slim, saying the stories are, quote, shivery vignettes which linger in the mind like poetry. One has to hope more of Seignolle's works will be presented to us non-French speakers one day. Luckily, this collection is available to be borrowed online via the Internet Archive, and I've included a link to that version in the description.